always a crowd pleaser. Treat your family to McCain skin-on crispy oven chips or rosemary and garlic sweet potato fries. Both nutritious and convenient.
Finally, we are ready to get into our first recipe for today. It is about fish, so we all know that everyone loves fish cakes. They're the ultimate quick family lunch or delicious dinner feast. What's more, these little pockets of crispy goodness are also healthy and super easy to make. Today, we're going to show you how we make the ultimate crispy fish cakes. And of course, we're going to be crisping it up with a side of deliciously crispy McCain skin-on oven chips. Now, Dumi, if that was a challenge on how many times I can say crispy in one sentence, nailed it.
Well, definitely the one thing that's not a challenge is this recipe, Palisa. It's simple, and I'm glad that we've got you in the show today because you are quite a master of fish cakes yourself, right?
Yep.
All right, then for this recipe, it's quite simple, Palisa. Like you mentioned, we need some very tasty, soft fish. In this case, we're using some hake, and then we've got some flavorants in there. We're going to be using some parsley, we've got some thyme, we've got garlic, salt, pepper, a touch of nutmeg in there, and then we're going to be putting this all together with some of the potatoes you've got there, Palisa, that are going to just bind our fish cakes together. So to start it off, Palisa, you can actually start mashing your potatoes there. Julie, you can start flaking up the fish, and I'm just going to start chopping up the herbs, and all of this is going to come together for the perfect fish cake consistency, I believe.
Beautiful. Now, Julie, everyone knows you as the fish cake kind of girl. What is like the key to having the most ultimate, beautifully delicious, but also moist, succulent fish cake?
Well, I think you need to cook your fish correctly. Don't overcook the fish. And yeah, the potatoes are definitely important. Also, the cooking when you've made your fish cake, when you're actually cooking it, not to overcook it, not to let it get dry. Herbs are always delicious in a fish cake.
So then, Julie, that also then begs the question, what fish is the correct fish to use when you're making a fish cake? Is there a correct fish?
I don't think there's a correct fish. I always tell people to keep their little leftovers. You know, if you're making beautiful fillets for a dinner party and you've got a tail piece, or you're cutting tuna steaks and you've got a funny little piece, keep all of those and use them in fish cakes. It's nice. We're using hake here, which is a delicious fish for fish cakes, but it's also nice to use a combination because you've got some fish that are moist and some fish that are dry. So if you mix them, you get the perfect consistency.
Beautiful. And here, Dumi, I'm pretty much done with this mash. I used a very little mash. Dumi, you gave me very little.
That's perfect, Palisa. I think one thing that I've noticed with people when they make fish cakes is that they like to overload the potato and it becomes more of a potato cake and not a fish cake. So I'd like to make sure that the fish stands out, and that's why we've got so much more of that. And everything else that we're going to add there is, in essence, just going to bind it all together. I think that I am correct in saying that, right? You don't want too much of
I try and do 1/3 potato and the rest fish, which I think is perfect.
Awesome, Palisa.
Yeah, I'm causing quite the ruckus here. I'm adding in my delicious McCain skin-on beautiful oven-baked chips. Now, what I love about this, that they're nutritious. I mean, these skin-on oven-baked chips just add that extra bit of goodness. And what I love about this is that health-wise, we've got you covered. It's trans-fat-free, it's gluten-free, natural source of dietary fiber, and of course, it's also low in cholesterol. Super simple, super easy. And I've just plopped it in here in the air fryer just to cook all the way through so that it's ready for the next part of the recipe.
I absolutely love that, Palisa, because it's quite simple. One thing you do not want as well is while you're busy with your fish cakes, you have to be worried about getting your chips and all of that.
Yeah.
The perfect thing is you just pop them in there and they get cooking while you do everything else. And so the next step on my fish cake journey here is I've added our herbs into this mixture. I'm going to go in with a pinch of salt. I like to season the fish cakes mixture because once it's in there, once it goes into the fryer or the oven, there's no other opportunity to season it. Okay. So I try to make sure that I season it as often as much as possible. And then into this, we go with some nutmeg, just a pinch, and then an egg. Bind these ingredients together, and then I'm going to add the fish and then just toss it all together.
Brilliant. Julie, when it comes to the convenience of this recipe, is it all the way up there for you?
Oh, yes, it's a quick dinner that you could make at home. A nice weekday dinner. It's something you could have at a party if you make little ones.
And not only are the fish cakes convenient, but these beautiful McCain skin-on oven-baked chips are also just as convenient. These fries can easily be prepared in the air fryer or in an oven for 12 to 15 minutes. They cook straight from frozen, a quick and easy family treat that is both nutritious and convenient. But as we are still speaking about the convenience of it, it's perfectly seasoned for you. There are 2 flavors that are available. You You can get the Texas barbecue, or you can get, which we're using today, the sea salt and black pepper. Dumi, you're shaping there.
I am shaping, Balisa, and the whole idea when we're working with fish cakes is you want to make sure that the mixture is beautifully bound together. So I'm going to start rolling these. But as you can see here in my air fryer, I've also started making some fish cakes, which I have been cooking. I started them 10 minutes ago, and then we've got about 2 minutes to go here. But I actually started it way in advance. So I want to show you exactly how they look, Balisa. Beautifully golden brown.
Beautiful.
I'm going to start plating these up before they overcook because we want to make sure that they come out crispy on the outside and nice and soft on the inside.
I'm so glad that you said that, because it is all just about it being crispy on the outside, soft on the inside. Another question you might be asking, if I do prepare these straight from frozen, will it be as fresh and as delicious? Well, the answer is yes, because these potatoes are harvested at their peak and flash frozen, locking in all that nutrients and making sure that there are no preservatives. Another thing about these is that all the potatoes here are quality, locally grown potatoes, which just make sure that you deliver every time. This chip will make sure that it's crispy on the outside, fluffy on the inside. As you keep popping those in there, Dumi, how much oil do we need in this recipe?
Balisa, oil, none whatsoever. We don't need any oil. Luckily for us, the McCain fries are low in cholesterol as well, so it's perfect. We don't have to worry about that. All we need to do here is just pop them into the air fryer, and that's it.
Beautiful. Julie, would you say Dumi is doing the right thing there? In fact, I almost want to get you involved in shaping some of those as well.
They look beautiful.
Out of 10?
Well, I can't say 10 out of 10.
Tell us the truth.
But they're pretty close.
Pretty close. I think I'll work with that, Balisa.
Something that I will give a 10 out of 10 rating, though, is this Philips Rapid Air technology. With its unique design, its starfish design to be specific, the swirls of hot air create delicious foods that are crispy on the outside, tender on the inside, with no to little added oil. That is exactly as Dumi said. And something that's super exciting about this, as you can see, I already have 3 minutes on the clock. It means that your food will cook in 1.5 times faster than in the oven. And best of all, you don't have to preheat it. So no having to remember in advance. You just turn it on and it starts cooking immediately. Making sure that these chips are crispy on the outside, soft on the inside, cannot say it enough. I'm almost going to pop these out because I'm pretty sure that they're good. Oh, look at that, Dumi.
Balisa, each time I try these McCain oven chip fries, the one thing I love about them is how perfectly seasoned they are, because I don't need to add any additional seasoning to them afterwards. They look beautiful.
In fact, I know a little boy who's going to love these. He goes by the name of Muhlokwa, and Dumi knows all about his hunger. Now, to help you create this delicious winter warmer of your own, we're giving away a Philips Essential XL connected air fryer and baking master kits with a year's worth of McCain potato products to the value of 6,898 Rand. To stand a chance to win, simply reply to the competition post on our Afternoon Express Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram page, and tell us, what is your go-to dish that you would love to make in the Philips Essential XL Connected Air Fryer using your favorite McCain product? Remember to include the hashtag #MadeWithMcCain and the hashtag Philips Air Fryer. The competition closes at noon on the 23rd of August. Enter right now. T's and C's are on afternoonexpress.co.za. Now, Dumi, on social media, Julie, let me let you in on some tea. We like to connect with our viewers on social media, so every week we've got a question for our viewers. So we're asking you on social media, which part of South Africa do you think makes the most delicious fish? Use that hashtag Afternoon Express in all of your comments. But Dumi, tell the viewers that we've got a little bit more Afternoon Express
We've got a
coming up.
whole lot more, Balisa. We've got more fish and we've still got more dessert.